Actions speak louder than words is one of those universally understood truths that reminds us of the power of what we do over what we say. Words are important and they help us communicate intentions, beliefs, and desires. However, words alone lack the depth and impact that tangible actions possess. Actions are the proof behind intentions, showing the world what we truly believe and how committed we are to what we say. If you want to make a real impact, leave a mark, or influence others meaningfully, it is essential to let your actions speak for themselves. This concept is simple yet profound, as it calls on each of us to prioritize what we do over what we say, proving our character, work ethic, and beliefs in a way that cannot be argued or dismissed. In our personal lives, actions communicate authenticity. People around us pay close attention to whether our actions align with our words. Think about a friend who promises to be there for you but never shows up when it matters. Their words become empty because time and again they fail to back up those promises with action. Now compare that with a friend who might not be overly expressive but always shows up when you need them. Their actions demonstrate their loyalty and care far more than words ever could. This is the same in relationships where trust and understanding are built over time through consistent actions, not grand declarations. Actions reveal what we value and prioritize, while words without action can easily be insincere or fleeting. In the professional world, this idea is particularly powerful. Leaders, managers, and team members gain respect and influence, not just by speaking eloquently, but by following through on commitments, demonstrating consistency, and working hard toward their goals. A manager who speaks about teamwork but does not actively support or listen to their team will struggle to earn genuine respect. On the other hand, a leader who quietly but consistently supports their team, listens to their needs, and helps them grow will naturally earn respect and loyalty. This concept applies to every level within an organization. Employees who go the extra mile and consistently deliver high-quality work, meet deadlines, and show reliability earn trust and are noticed by others, even if they do not speak much about their accomplishments. Actions create a powerful reputation that words alone cannot achieve. In our society, where social media and other platforms encourage us to project an image through words and photos, the importance of actions is more relevant than ever. It's easy to post about goals, plans, or aspirations, but living them out is what sets truly motivated and committed individuals apart. A person may frequently post about health and fitness, but it is the one who puts in consistent effort at the gym, eats healthily, and maintains discipline over time that actually embodies those values. Actions provide the foundation for authenticity. They show who we are when no one is watching and when there is no applause or validation from others. This quiet dedication is often where true growth and progress happen. Over time, consistent actions that reflect our words create a lasting impact that is hard to replicate with words alone. In challenging times, actions take on even more significance. When people face adversity or struggle, it becomes evident who can handle challenges with resilience and determination. Words of encouragement can be uplifting, but people are inspired most by those who demonstrate courage, face their fears, and take steps forward despite the odds. It is through action that others see what is possible, especially when conditions are tough. For instance, think of athletes who push through injuries to compete, or entrepreneurs who persevere through numerous setbacks. Their actions become symbols of resilience and inspire those around them far more than any motivational speech. Action in the face of difficulty serves as proof of a person's dedication and passion, showing that they are committed to a cause, goal, or purpose, regardless of the challenges. In terms of personal growth and self-discipline, actions play a crucial role. Many people talk about their goals, learning a new skill, improving health, or achieving financial independence. However, the real progress is made by those who take actionable steps toward these goals consistently, no matter how small. Talking about change does not lead to change, only action can do that. Someone who talks about saving money but does not adjust their spending habits or save regularly will not achieve financial stability. In contrast, the individual who saves consistently, even in small amounts, makes gradual but meaningful progress. Actions transform intentions into reality, creating a cumulative effect that moves us toward our goals over time. By choosing to take small, meaningful steps daily, we embody the change we wish to see rather than merely talking about it. Consistency in action also builds credibility. When someone repeatedly shows up and delivers on their promises, it builds trust. Trust is not granted based on words, but earned through reliability and accountability. This credibility is valuable in all relationships, whether personal or professional. It's what gives people confidence in others, knowing they will follow through and not disappoint. A trustworthy person is someone who does what they say they will do, who shows up, who puts in the effort, and who keeps their word. This type of person naturally becomes someone others rely on, and their influence grows because people know that they are dependable. Reliability through action becomes a foundation of trust that is hard to break and is built on consistent, authentic actions. Another powerful aspect of action is that it allows for learning and adaptation. When we act, we put ourselves out there experiencing the consequences of our efforts, learning from mistakes, and adjusting our approach. Talking about plans or goals may feel productive, but it is only through action that we encounter real obstacles, make mistakes, and grow. For example, someone may talk about starting a business and discuss every detail in theory. However, the actual experience of starting a business, facing setbacks, adjusting to market needs, and making real decisions is far more educational and transformative. Every action we take, whether successful or not, teaches us something valuable, helping us improve and refine our approach. Action pushes us forward, while endless discussion can keep us stagnant, stuck in planning or dreaming mode without making progress. Actions have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of those around us. They speak to our true values, create a lasting impression, and allow us to build trust and credibility. Through consistent, intentional actions, we can achieve our goals, influence others positively, and make a genuine difference. We can say many things, make many promises, and express countless ideas. Still, if we don't act on them, they remain merely words, fragile and forgettable. On the other hand, actions create a legacy, a tangible record of who we are and what we stand for. They inspire, teach, and motivate in ways that words alone cannot. By focusing on action over talk, we put our energy where it truly matters, making an impact and moving closer to the life we envision. Arguments often arise from a desire to be right, to convince others of a viewpoint, or to assert dominance in a discussion. However, these debates, particularly if they escalate into heated arguments, can become distractions from our actual goals. Instead of pushing us closer to achieving our objectives, arguments drain valuable time, energy, and mental resources, leaving little left to invest in productive actions. Arguments can also lead to strained relationships and even closed-mindedness as people dig in their heels and resist alternative perspectives. Rather than focusing on the substance of our goals or making progress, arguments divert attention to defending one's stance, often leading to division rather than resolution. When we prioritize action over arguments, we preserve our energy for what matters most, achieving our goals and demonstrating results. Engaging in arguments can foster negativity and waste emotional energy. When we argue, we become emotionally invested in proving our point, which can cloud our judgment and escalate minor disagreements into larger conflicts. This emotional drain often leads to stress, frustration, and resentment, none of which are helpful for goal achievement. Emotional energy, like physical energy, is a finite resource. Instead of using it to create tension and division, we can direct it toward constructive efforts. Focusing on action allows us to channel our emotions into something productive, transforming frustration into motivation and conflict into collaboration. Action offers a sense of progress, even if small, which is far more satisfying and beneficial than the short-lived satisfaction of winning an argument. Arguments also have a way of creating rigid positions. In the heat of a debate, people tend to become defensive and less willing to compromise, often holding on to their viewpoints out of pride or fear of losing face. This rigidity can prevent us from exploring new perspectives or finding alternative solutions that might be better aligned with our goals. Instead of being open-minded and flexible, arguments often push us toward closed-mindedness, where we cling to our opinions without considering others' insights. When we choose to focus on actions instead, we open up possibilities for growth and adaptation. We are no longer bound by the need to win a discussion, but are free to experiment, adapt, and learn from others' perspectives, which can enrich our approach to achieving our goals. In a professional environment, arguments can quickly become counterproductive, especially in teamwork or collaborative settings. Imagine a project team where each member insists on their idea being the best, leading to endless debates rather than making tangible progress. This type of conflict stalls the team's efforts, causing frustration and potentially delaying the project's success. In contrast, when team members shift their focus to action, they create a collaborative atmosphere where everyone contributes to moving the project forward. Teamwork thrives on action-oriented mindsets, where individuals prioritize problem-solving, cooperation, and shared goals over proving themselves right. By focusing on actions rather than arguments, teams can capitalize on each member's strengths, leveraging diverse perspectives without letting disagreements derail their progress. Choosing actions over arguments also sets a powerful example, inspiring others to focus on tangible outcomes rather than getting caught up in debates. When people see you calmly handling disagreements by redirecting your focus to solutions and actions, it establishes you as someone who values progress over personal victory. This approach often encourages others to adopt a similar mindset, reducing unnecessary friction and building a more positive environment. Leaders who consistently emphasize actions over arguments foster a culture of respect, resilience, and mutual purpose. In time, people are more likely to emulate these values, creating a collective focus on achieving goals and overcoming challenges together rather than getting sidetracked by divisive arguments. Action-driven approaches have a way of making arguments irrelevant. When you focus on achieving your goals and demonstrating results, the outcome speaks for itself, often negating the need for debate. Consider an entrepreneur who faces skepticism about their business idea. Arguing with naysayers or trying to convince them with words may not be effective. However, by taking consistent action, developing their product, growing their customer base, and showing measurable success, they prove the validity of their idea. Their actions and results make any prior skepticism or criticism irrelevant. By letting their success speak for itself, they demonstrate that results are more persuasive than words alone. In this way, actions become a powerful response to doubt, achieving what arguments cannot. Arguments can also damage relationships, creating rifts that may be difficult to repair. Friends, family members, or colleagues who repeatedly engage in arguments risk harming their bonds, as constant disagreements can foster resentment, defensiveness, and a lack of understanding. By prioritizing actions, we can maintain and even strengthen our relationships. Instead of debating who's right, we can take constructive steps together, whether by working on a common goal or supporting each other's efforts. This approach shifts the dynamic from conflict to collaboration, where mutual respect and shared experiences take precedence over proving a point. In the long run, focusing on shared actions rather than individual arguments builds stronger, more resilient relationships as people appreciate the support and dedication shown through effort rather than words. Actions also provide a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that arguments cannot. When we take steps toward our goals, no matter how small, we experience progress and personal growth. This progress reinforces our motivation, building momentum that drives us forward. Arguments, in contrast, rarely provide the same sense of achievement. Even if we win an argument, the satisfaction is often short-lived, with little to show for it in terms of actual progress. Focusing on actions allows us to consistently make strides toward our goals, enjoying the satisfaction of each milestone reached. This positive reinforcement strengthens our commitment to our objectives and helps us build resilience, making it easier to stay on course even when challenges arise. Actions are the ultimate proof of our intentions, dedication, and character. When we choose to act rather than argue, we show that we are committed to creating positive change, not just talking about it. This commitment resonates with others, earning respect and admiration without the need for persuasion or debate. People value those who demonstrate their beliefs through consistent effort, as it shows integrity and sincerity. By focusing on actions, we also develop a reputation for reliability and competence, becoming known as someone who follows through rather than just talks. This reputation can open doors, attract like-minded individuals, and lead to opportunities that arguments alone could never achieve. When we direct our efforts toward action, we stay grounded in the real world, focused on the things we can control and improve. Arguments often dwell on hypotheticals, disagreements over opinions, or interpretations of facts, which can lead us astray from our purpose. By acting, we engage directly with reality, learning from our experiences, adjusting our strategies, and refining our skills. Action-based approaches keep us grounded, helping us learn from the practical challenges we encounter and grow stronger with each step we take. In contrast, arguments can sometimes keep us in a cycle of overthinking, second-guessing, or rehashing old points. Action liberates us from these unproductive cycles, encouraging a forward-moving mindset that keeps us focused on tangible outcomes. Choosing action over argument helps us make meaningful progress toward our goals, develop stronger relationships, and create a positive impact on those around us. Arguments may provide temporary satisfaction or a sense of validation, but they rarely lead to long-term fulfillment or achievement. By staying focused on our actions, we preserve our energy, cultivate resilience, and create a legacy of accomplishments that speak louder than any words could. In a world where opinions and arguments abound, action remains the most compelling way to show who we are, what we believe in, and what we're capable of achieving.